Hello everyone and welcome back to Comic 47 Vlogs, and we're gonna look at this week's comic haul. A little bit less comics than I thought. I think my local shop didn't get all the comics that they were supposed to this week, or maybe I just got there late and they sold out, but I don't think so because there wasn't many comics that released this week. So let's take a look at the comics. So Um, the ones I'm gonna go over the ones that have released this week, and there might be some that released last week but got to the store a little bit late. But for the most part, I think these are all the ones that got here this week. So we have Star Wars Jedi Knights. I'm gonna do a review on this comic alone because this is a big thing in the Star Wars mythos. So first of all, look at the amazing artwork. I'll get that closer so you can see, but it is an amazing cover. I don't know. I didn't want any variants. I wanted this one. So this is like a new start to Star Wars in the prequel era. So basically, this is pretty much the events. I think you could say like in between the first movie, like um, well, actually, this is kind of. I think this is before the first movie, or maybe kind of in the middle of the first movie. And you've never seen that before, you don't really get to see Qui-Gon and, young Count Dooku and all these people in the same era, you know what I mean? I really like the Star Wars first movie. I think it's underrated. I really wanted to see more of Qui-Gon. He's a really good, kind-hearted person, so it's really nice to see that. And the artwork is also spectacular on the inside. You get these really amazing action scenes. Look at that. Like that is hard to draw. Like all the perspective that they have to know to be able to draw stuff like this. Just really nice. The coloring is really good too. And so I guess there's a few things I'd like to mention. The coloring is really well done. The pencils, the inks, all well done. Um, and also it really feels like I'm watching not an episode. I'm watching like another Star Wars movie set in the prequel era. So it's really nice. It feels like I'm reading like a classic Star Wars story. You know what I mean? It's really good, and it does have like the politics and this and that, but it does teach you things. I like when the Star Wars story kind of teaches you lessons, or kind of like that's what Star Wars is about. It's about wisdom. It's about teaching you a bit of life. Anyways, I'm done talking about this comic because I'm not gonna finish reviewing all the comics of the week. So, Jedi Knights issue 1. Definitely pick it up if you can. This is $5, so it's not that expensive. Usually first issues, like big ones like this, are usually $6 or $7. So, Batgirl number 5. So far, not that much had been going on. Like the last two issues were like Cassandra Cain like just kind of chatting with the others in the train. Um, but yeah, Batgirl. I'm really glad that Cassandra Cain is getting the recognition that she deserves because she's like one of the best characters in DC, like, and one of the absolute best fighters in DC. She can literally take down Batman like with ease. It's crazy. But yeah, Batgirl number 5, great comic, highly recommended. Um, it goes into the dynamic between Steph and her mom, Lady Shiva, and I think it's really good. It has like this uh, mother-daughter bonding, but at the same time, it it understands that it's a toxic sort of parenthood. At the same time, you know what I mean? She's resented with her mom, but it's her mom. There's this dynamic here. I got Wind issue, The Power of Blood issue 3, and this yeah, I wanted to read issue 1, and I hadn't really had time to read up on it, so I got issue 3 and issue 2 today, so I'm gonna see how it goes. I was behind, so sometimes I'm so behind that I didn't even read issue 1 yet. So what I do is sometimes I get up to issue 3 and I stop it there so I can catch up. And if I don't catch up on time, I just leave it like that and don't get any more of the future issues. Um, but yeah, Hyde Street number 4. So each issue, this is part of the Ghost Machine universe, same universe as Geiger, Red Coat, um, Junkyard Joe, like all these characters that Jeff Johns has created. It's a really good universe in my opinion, especially Geiger. Geiger's like the highlight of this Ghost Machine universe, and Hyde Street is a very interesting concept. It's the street that makes people pay for their sins, and like if there was like a bad person, um, or like then the street has like these rules. It's like it's hard to explain. It's a street called Hyde Street, and it's almost like a sentient street, and it has like it puts these people in charge of like tallying, um, like certain people, right? So let's just say there was like a greedy corporate business guy. They will like he will be led to walk into Hyde Street, and he's gonna get punished for it. You know what I mean? And each individual person in that street has a job to do, almost like an entity kind of thing. It's a very interesting concept. It's hard to explain. Just read it. Um, you don't need to necessarily like. You need to read issue 1 and 2. Technically, you don't need to read issue 3 because it's kind of a filler issue. So, highly recommend it. It's got like this horror aspect to it. So, but not so horror that like you can't take it. It's not like that. In my opinion, at least. Two-Face, number 4. I read issue 1. It was really great. It really, I haven't, again, I need to catch up, but issue 1 really dove into Harvey Dent's character and how he has, like, an interesting sense of justice. He's not so black and white where he's just, like, a villain and he hates Gotham, but he thinks he's doing the right thing, the way he does justice, and you kind of believe him too because you understand that the justice system is flawed, and you got to do something about that. But at the same time, the way he approaches things sometimes goes too far. So it's a very interesting dynamic between his two personalities. Harvey Dent being a just like there's Two-Face and there's Harvey Dent, and it's this inner conflict within each other. So I can't wait to catch up and read issue 4. Birds of Prey issue 19. Again, I haven't caught up, but I'm just one issue. I just need to read the last issue, so I'll probably read last issue and this one in like a day. The previous arc was not that great. It was a lot of filler. Not much happened. Volume 1 was really good. This is like, I don't know about this new arc. But it is a fun series, I will say. I think it's kind of like not supposed to be taken that seriously as a series. It's fun. I think if you just want like a fun comic that you don't think about too much, this is the one. Same with like Harley Quinn, for example. It's just a fun comic that you're not really thinking too much about it. Batman Full Moon issue 4. This is the conclusion to the 4-issue miniseries. I didn't know it was a miniseries. I thought it was, I didn't know it was a 4-issue miniseries. I thought it was going to run for a bit longer. This is actually pretty interesting. Issue 3 had some weird dialogue. It felt rushed, in my opinion. Like, this is issue 3, this is issue 4, this is from last month. But the dialogue in issue 3 felt very rushed, or just like weird. I don't know. And also a bit of the writing doesn't seem in character. Like a lot of the dialogue that Batman says and doesn't fit his character. But the story is good. Does that make sense? Like the characters feel like they wouldn't say that, but it is a good overarching story. So in issue 3, we were pretty much left off where they're gonna go back to the source, the very source of where this like Wolf Moon curse came from. I really like how they incorporate Man-Bat into this comic, and he's not a villain. He's actually being very helpful here, and he's really trying to save Batman from his own like werewolf curse. So it's really interesting. Um, so yeah, can't wait to read issue 4. I'm gonna finish it and I'm gonna conclude it. And yeah, I mean, obviously this is a 4-issue series because it started like in October to kind of build into the Halloween hype. So yeah, I think it got delayed a little bit because it should have ended by now. But I think it got delayed like a month or something. So, anyways, good comic. Fantastic Four issue 1, $5. This is a exact reprint of issue 1. I haven't read the classic Fantastic Four in a while. And I know why Marvel's doing this. Marvel's doing this because of the movie that's coming out in July, which is totally understandable. So it's literally, I mean, they even reprint the ads. Like, it's amazing. Why wouldn't you want this? A lot of comic fans probably already have some variation of this, be it like an omnibus or trade paperback, but it's really nice to have the original ads reprinted and have the story reprinted. It's really good. Um, Nothing more to say about this. It's just a classic 1960s comic, and they're going to be printing like each consecutive first 12 issues of the Fantastic Four, so I'd highly recommend buying this one and reading up until issue 12, so you get like classic Fantastic Four stories. Doctor Strange of Asgard. The title of Sorcerer Supreme has been a very interesting thing. They've been doing a lot with Doctor Doom and Marvel Comics these past few years. So during the events of Secret Wars, which was I think like around 2015, he was like Emperor Doom, and he had control of the world, and he had all this power, like cosmic power, right? And then after that, Doctor Doom became like an Iron Man. He had like an Iron Man armor, and he used magic and stuff, but he was kind of like Iron Man style. And then he became it was like I think Loki became Sorcerer Supreme, and now it's like Doctor Doom or something. It's confusing, but Doctor Doom has always been known to be like a magic user. He's a very very good magic user. He's like extremely good at magic. Um, he's definitely up there, Doctor Strange level. Like Scarlet Witch, maybe, you know. Scarlet Witch has a different kind of magic. It's like a chaos magic, so it's hard to tell. It's hard to say how powerful she is because it's kind of like more of a different kind of magic. Anyways, so now Doctor Strange is the. He's not the Sorcerer Supreme anymore, but he's like a sorcerer of Asgard, which is kind of weird. Like it mixes Thor and Doctor Strange. So I'm just interested to see where this goes. I don't know if it's a more serious comic, um, but you have Thor here, so maybe you know Thor and Doctor Strange go on adventures together. I got issue 1 out of curiosity. If it's not that great, I don't think I'm gonna keep reading on it. So yeah, I got Ghost Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider, issue 11. Spider-Gwen is an insanely popular character, and I didn't initially like her, but I understand her appeal. And here's the artwork. The artwork is really well done, especially the poses and the action scenes. And I really like the covers they're putting out. I forgot the name of this artist, but he does like literal oil paintings done traditionally. Um, I think all of his artworks are done traditionally. If I'm thinking of the right artist here, this one may have been done digitally. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's a fun story. It's not an important title to read, as in it's not gonna like you don't need to know what's going on with Spider-Gwen. She's kind of like her own thing, which is nice, you know. But Spider-Gwen is in the main Marvel continuity right now, so that's a bit weird. Yeah, that's about it. And there's another 2 comics I got this week. I got Wolverine #7. So this is the Invisible variant. This month, Marvel's doing these things called invisible variants where Susan Storm makes the characters invisible. So basically, Wolverine's like skin and bones are like invisible. So all you can see is his adamantium skeleton. Also, this Wolverine series is really good. They really understand the character of Wolverine. The writing, the art is good. The colors are good. Um, The storytelling is really good. Like it's a really really good series, surprisingly. And I'm not like a huge Wolverine fan, but this comic made me a Wolverine fan, like more than I was before. So I just kind of got this comic not expecting much when I first got it, but it's really good. Right now they're following this like kind of like this weird gold adamantium that's like corrupting Wolverine and the others. But if you read the story, it's actually really interesting. The gold adamantium stuff is like currently happening right now, but before that, there was like another kind of story arc going on. So, really good title. I'm caught up on issue 6, so I'm gonna read issue 7 this week. Ultimates number 10. Look at the team. You got Hawkeye. They're two spirited in this Ultimate universe, which is great. You got She-Hulk. The Hulk in the Ultimate Universe is like gray for some reason, and also I guess She-Hulk too. You have Giant Man, and I don't know who this is. And you have the Wasp here. So I'm also a little bit behind on Ultimates, so I gotta catch up. So I can't tell you if it's going good so far or not. But up until what I've read, I think I've read until issue 6 or so. It's really good. Like Ultimates is like a really good thing. And there was this tie-in comic called Ultimate Marvel, like 1 year in. So they're doing big things with that. And in April, they're gonna release an Ultimate Spider-Man comic for Free Comic Book Day. So stay tuned for that. I mean, it's a free comic. So yeah, that's all I got this week. I say that as if I didn't get that much. I got a lot. So yeah, I usually get this amount of comics in a week. I don't know. It's weird because my store like that I go to, sometimes I get just this amount of comics. Sometimes I get a lot, and it's just like it's very wildly uneven the amount of comics I get in a week. Sometimes I get like 7. Sometimes I get like 20 if all the good comics came out on that same week, and I can't even read them all on time, so I kind of try to catch up. But yeah, anyways, I'm done rambling about comics. I want to review the series that I really like, because I'm reading a lot of series, so I can talk about like what's going on in Marvel and DC. Ultimates is going really good. The absolute titles are going really good. So I think comics are starting to make a bit of a comeback lately, especially I feel like DC and Marvel, when they're competing with each other, they both try to get out better quality, and it actually goes well for the customers, in my opinion. And yeah, so one thing I'll complain about DC is that they need to put out more Wonder Woman and more just like women-owned titles, essentially, because especially Wonder Woman, like Wonder Woman is like this big hero, and they literally canceled the Wonder Woman game that was going to come out this week. I'm sorry, they announced this week that they were working on this Wonder Woman movie for like years, or this video game, and they canceled it. They had it all pretty much set up, but they were like, no, just cancel it. And it was going to be a really good game, apparently. But yeah, anyways, I'm done rambling. So I'll see you next time. My next video, I reviewed the DC Compacts Edition comics, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you next time. Like and subscribe, and leave a comment on what your favorite comics are right now, what you're reading, and yeah, anyways, bye.